Good morning. My name is Greg Hodge, and I want to welcome you on behalf of the ancestors and elders and everything that is good and true. We give thanks this morning for another day of life. We give thanks this day for sunshine, for a blue sky, for not having an orange Martian day in front of us. We give thanks in this way as part of our tradition, that we take a moment with that drum call to see if we're all listening, if we're all ready for the conversation. The space. We welcome you to this Bantaba, this public space, and an opportunity for us to talk about important issues as we think about building power in the Bay. Libation, as our ancestors in the Nile Valley said, we should do even when we're away from home. They said, pour libation for your mother and father who rest in the valley of the West. Do this even when you are away from home. God will witness your actions and accept them. And do this for your parents, and your children will do it for you. We keep our story alive. We keep our history alive by remembering, by reflecting, and renewing ourselves at every possible opportunity. So today, I'm going to invite you to, wherever you are, to take a deep cleansing breath and exhale. I want you to take another breath, and I want you to breathe in that love and that wisdom of the ages from our community. As we think about this libation, we think about the Native Americans on whose land we often stand. Here in Northern California on Ohlone land, or if we're in the Midwest, maybe the Shawnee, or in the South where I grew up, the Choctaw and the Quapaw. We take a moment just to acknowledge who we are and where we are. We take this moment to acknowledge that we are children of spirit, that we're children of the Most High. And whatever tradition we come from, I invite you to dig deeply into your faith this morning. There's a lot of challenges in front of us, but there are a lot of opportunities. So we say, as our Yoruba brothers and sisters might say, Ibashe ila orun, Ibashe iwo orun, Ibashe ariwa, Ibashe guusu, Ibashe ile, and they're saying, give respect to the four cardinal directions from the north, the south, the east, and the west, wherever our ancestors are coming from. We give thanks this morning for remembrance, for reflection and renewal. We think about ancestors who put in work, put in prayer, played music, moved around wherever they were, from the Nile Valley to the Valley, and we say, Ashe. We say ancestors who were educators, those ancestors who were advocates, those ancestors who were philanthropists in their own ways, in their own communities, whether it was through tithing at church or helping out that family whose home had been burned out. But somewhere and somehow, somebody did something so you could be here today. I want to reflect just for a moment on the life and work of one of our amazing women leaders through our history, Mary McLeod Bethune. Mary McLeod Bethune was born in 1875, lived to 1955. She was the founder of the National Council of Negro Women in 1935. She was an advisor for the UN Charter delegation. She was the only Black woman in that group when the UN Charter was passed. She was a counselor and advisor and part of the Black cabinet to Franklin Delano Roosevelt. But she was a leader in our community because she started what is now Bethune-Cookman College. She is a person who said many things. She said, leadership is the capacity to respond to the situation of the moment. And this is the moment that we've been waiting for, and the moment has been waiting for us. She said, the drums of Africa still beat in my heart. They will not let me rest while there is a single Black boy, a single Black girl without a chance to prove their worth. So today, in memory of Mary McLeod Bethune and all those ancestors from time immemorial up until today, and praise as we kick off this important of Black resilience, this important conversation for power in the Bay. And we close it 3 times. We say, Ashe, Ashe, Ashe. And now I want to pass this to my good friend, the CEO of the Community Foundation, James Head.
Thank you, Greg, for that eloquent calling to order for us with the names and drumbeat of our ancestors. I too want to acknowledge our indigenous brothers and sisters, the Ohlone people who inhabited these wonderful lands that we enjoy here in the Bay Area. Those of you who, if you don't know about the Ohlone people and their presence still here in the Bay Area, I really would encourage you to do a little bit of research. It is important, in my opinion, that we always be mindful of our indigenous brothers and sisters who were here before any of us, and the struggles that they also continue to face. It is my pleasure to welcome you to the second annual Ascend BLO Network Summit. This year, we are assembling virtually to ensure that everyone is safe as we continue to face COVID-19, poor air quality, the rising levels of racial justice, and many other challenges. Our theme for today's summit is Black Resilience, Building Power in the Bay. As we combat sort of the dual pandemics that are disproportionately affecting Black people, that being the COVID-19 as well as social justice inequities, we are called upon to demonstrate resilience and build power to enable our fight for survival and the ability to thrive against the odds. We have an exciting program for you starting this morning with the powerful speaker, Dr. Harry Edwards, an American sociologist and activist who will share insights gleaned from decades of experience as an athlete, educator, researcher, consultant, and strategic advisor to athletes who dare to use their platform to address social, economic, and racial injustice. I am proud of today's athletes who are building on the legacy of athletic resistance and demonstrating bold leadership even as we lift up this topic for discussion. And yes, for those of you who have noticed, that is a Draymond Green jersey over my shoulder. Before I say a few words about Ascend BLO, I would like to quickly acknowledge our sponsors and members of the Funders Collaborative and Advisory Group. First, special thanks to our sponsors who stepped up to underwrite the production costs so that BLOs could attend this convening at no cost. Our platinum sponsor, the Chad Zuckerberg Initiative, and silver sponsors, Silicon Valley Community Foundation and Union Bank. Now, I would also like to recognize our hardworking planning committee. Not only did they guide the planning for the summit, they will be actively engaged throughout the day as they monitor sessions and help manage audience participation. Members of the 2020 Planning Committee include Asante Branch from Ever Forward, Siempre Adelante, Gloria Bruce from the East Bay Housing Organizations, Brandy Howard from the San Francisco Foundation, Philip Logan, the Hannah Project Partnership for Academic Achievement, Eric McDonald, also the San Francisco Foundation, Neema McQueen, the Alliance for Community Development, Joyvan Mohammed, Marin City Health and Wellness Center, Mauricio Palma, the Silicon Valley Community Foundation, and I've got another page here. Courtney Riley from the Marcus Foster Educational Institute, Nomi D. Sessions from the East Bay Permanent Real Estate Cooperative, Ade Tishiger from the Safe Returns Project, Latanya Tagner and Deborah Vaughn from Dimensions Dance Theater, and Zane West from One Life Institute. We really thank the committee and committee members selected the theme, the date, and the breakout sessions that are designed by and for BLOs. So I hope you'll join me in giving special thanks to the planning committee. There would be no BLO without our Funders Collaborative, who brought this initiative to life and continue to support our initiatives. In addition to our role as lead agency, funders include the Anaki Foundation, the Alameda County, the California Wellness Foundation, the James Irvine Foundation, the Kapor Center for Social Impact, the San Francisco Foundation, the Sobrante Family Foundation, the Stepsky Foundation, the Silicon Valley Community Foundation, the California Endowment, the Walter and Elise Haas Fund, and the Y&H Soder Foundation. In addition, we are grateful for solid and sustained contributions from generous donors, some of whom are with us today. And those include Seth Butner, Tom Ellaby, and Arnold Perkins. We are also grateful to the Ascend BLO Advisory Group, a group of nationally recognized leaders in capacity building, racial justice, and equity, who are bringing their knowledge and experience to bear on the implementation and expansion of this unique initiatives. Members include Julia Beatty from the Borealis Philanthropy, Tom Ellaby, who's a retired East Kodak executive and also a donor at the East Bay Community Foundation, Juliet Ellis, the San Francisco Public Utilities Commission, Fran Jamont from Jamont Rollins Group, Susan Taylor Batten, who you'll hear from a little bit later, from the Association of Black Foundation Executives, Sharice Y. West Scatterberry, who's the Winthrop Rockefeller Foundation CEO, and Thurman White from Progress Investments. I'd like to briefly share a little background on Ascend BLO. We're now in our third year of operation of a 10-year initiative, which began when a small group of funders gathered to brainstorm how to address the abrupt closure of a mission-critical Black-led nonprofit and the growing number of similar organizations in peril. The key definition is Ascend, accelerating and stabilizing communities through equitable nonprofit development, and BLO, Black-led organizations, which are defined as registered nonprofits with Black staff and or board leadership. Given today's attention and focus on Black-led organizations, I like to say we were ahead of the curve and have many learnings to share locally, statewide, and nationally, if not internationally, about what we have been doing and the importance of supporting Black-led organizations. Led by our Capacity Building Initiative Officer, Byron Johnson, and also our BLO Program Assistant, Zakia Brewer, this is a program that includes a set of consultants, walk-in associates, and we also have capacity building consultants and an evaluation team, that team being led by Singh and Smith, and the Ascend BLO network, which has grown to more than 300 BLOs. We've completed the first round of the BLO Accelerator program. We've launched the BLO Stabilizer program and are planning the next round of the Accelerator to start in 2021. For information on what's next with Ascend BLO, please refer to the Summit program and visit the Ascend BLO booth in the exhibit hall.